DM of Generations. This is my session for July the 9th, 2021. Here it goes. So I pick up where there's suddenly a shift in time. And when I come out of that shift in time, Dawn and I are traveling to the Sea Mist, to the Starlight Tavern, to meet a man named Maze Rakum. Our mission is to recruit Maze. Maze is one of two people that I can sense here that are supposed to be particularly powerful. And besides that, it's just like it's a outdoors bar. Um, it's a like I wouldn't say a hyper formal setting. I would almost say like casual in the kind of sense, like maybe like the kind of place where maybe people like like they go after work to cool off, but like maybe like you don't go directly after work. You meet up in the parking lot. And say, okay, everybody go home, shower, and we're meeting up at the spot, like that kind of spot. So people are dressed nice and stuff like that and everything, but it's not like overly formal. um, Outdoors area. It's on a beachfront, and Dawn and I decided to split up, and we're traveling around. Um, I do a couple of things to get some. I'm going back a little bit to make sure I create the larger context possible for what's going on. So I'm not going to give as much detail for some of this because this is a couple of sessions back. But if you have any questions, DM, let me know. So I managed to use my powers to snag some coins and stuff off the ground, get some go ahead and get some drinks. And at the bar, I see there's a large Italian looking guy who has like these spiked bracers and a green vest. Um, there's someone watching us, like kind of like on the perimeter of the gathering, kind of like watching Dawn and myself, a hooded figure, very menacing, wearing a Kakashi style mask, and the person was leaning up against a tree. Um, they vanished from my sight while I was like kind of checking in on them and the person. When I get to the bar and I meet the person, it turns out this is Maze Rackham. Um, Sorry, I scrolled. I don't know what was going on. I scrolled way too far. So, Dawn and I are giving signals to each other, like kind of giving the eyes and stuff, like letting each other know like what's going on and making sure that she's in position to intercept the hooded guy, just in case anything happens. As a matter of fact, I don't think the hooded person saw Dawn. I think they just saw him. I think they were looking at me and looking at Maze, not me and Dawn. So I don't think Dawn saw it. I don't think they saw Dawn. Um, so oh, a little side thing as me and the DM were talking is basically mentioned that the DM was mentioning that less than 50% of the cavern is reformed bad guys. Because I think I said something in regards to like thinking that most of us were like reformed, but it's less than 50%. I mean, but that's still a lot. Like if it's in the 40s, that's still a lot. So um, excuse me. Um, oh, I forgot. I messed this up. I apologize. I didn't go over and meet him yet. I sent a waitress to alert him to my presence. That was how we met. Um, because he was with yeah. So I'm sorry. I think the Italian guy was somebody different. He was with a group of some other people, and I sent the maze to basically the waitress to get his attention, and then he came over to me. We met. I told him that I was a holder, meaning that I was basically someone who held the Serum Librium, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember if Maze was a holder too. I know he's connected to all of that, but I can't remember if he's actually a holder himself. He may be. Um, so we um like when I say that, it kind of takes the conversation to a new level, and he wants to go and speak somewhere private. So we move away from like the more kind of like in like interior part of the gathering where where people were dancing and drinking and hanging, and we start to kind of go off to the like kind of to the fringes to the perimeter where there's less people. You can find more private space. Oh, he was like loud and boisterous. He was definitely a life of the party type. Big personality, big energy, and everything. I mean, big social energy. So we get out there, and when I'm going out there to talk to him, next thing I know, there's like a blade put in my face, and I hear like Maze says, "Camilla, let him go," and then um then um the blade is like, or sorry, the blade's in my face. Camilla's behind me, and behind Camilla is Dawn. So Dawn has her flanked. So that's right, Dawn. So this was the Kakashi dress guy. Turns out it was a woman, not a man. And um she is Maze's sister. Excuse me. I speak to Maze to recruit him, and basically telling him, who we are, what we do, and talking up the cavern. And he seems interested. He's like, well, listen, I'll join if she joins. And I look over at her, and she says no. So it's like, of course. So I wake up in that dark place. Um, uh, I'm in that cell. I can tell I'm missing something very important to me. And Maze is in there with me. This is different because every time I've woken up at this place, um, I've always been alone. And this is the first time I've had anybody in here with me. Maze has an eye patch and he's looking at me. So coming out of that, I'm back in the cavern, and I am in the security office with Lysandra, Maze, and Jing. So the Maze recruitment was weeks ago. So Maze did eventually end up joining, but Camilla wouldn't. However, there is a way to get her to join. Jing is going to help us recruit her, and he's going to do that by getting. Why don't I have their names here? He's going to break Button and Fritz, who are Camilla's best friends. He's going to break them out of like a prison they're being held in. We do that, then Camilla will join. So Lysandra has joined my security team. So where there is one, there is now two. And I figured out that because Lysandra seemed off lately. And more specifically, what's going on is that she's been traumatized by something that happened by her time in the underworld. And she's been having sessions with Samorian, and something is going on with her new arm, because she came out of the underworld with one arm, and which I'm called the Blade of Justice healed her, or at least I thought he healed her. Like who knows? Maybe he pulled the arm from another dimension or something. But yeah, like as far as I could tell, he had healed her. She got her arm back. Um, so another thing that's been going on is that Rain and Dawn have gone back to the planet Wave, to help with the relations there. Wave is one of the two worlds that was in that big war where Future and Rain, where Rain and Dawn met. Well, I believe that's where they met, but at least that's where like the bulk of their story comes from, where they're like the star-crossed lovers on the opposite sides of a war. He's from Wave, she's from Korra, and but they're going back to Wave to help out there. Future and Rain also believe that this is a decent chance to get recruits as well, so they're supposed to be gone for a few months. So I mean, I was happy to hear about that, like that they were going in that direction and helping out with that kind of stuff. I know Dawn feels bad about those things. Obviously, Rain wants to help his people. I'm glad they get to spend time doing that. I was just happy all in all for them. Was a little concerned about myself because it's a sucky time to have less of my support system, but it is what it is. So I found out that it's been roughly 4 to 5 years since Amanra pulled us out of the underworld. When that whole situation where Lysandra got pulled into the underworld, but I think maybe some of her old people went after her, came across that place, the bridge where you had to pay souls to get across. It's been 4 to 5 years since that, or at least since Amanra pulled us out of the underworld. Now, when I left that off in the game, I actually don't like. There wasn't a situation where it was like Amanra was in the process of pulling us out, she had just made contact with us. So I don't even know how long we were down there. We could have been down there for 5 years, and it's been 45 years since that. But all I know, it's been 45 years since we got out of the underworld. Lysandra has been oh, I already said that. Button and Fritz, we already went over that. So Maze has just met Jing. He knows Lysandra, doesn't know her particularly well. Um, so Maze is going to brief Jing on the situation about Button and Fritz to give him solid information before he heads out to go ahead and do the operation. Um, they leave, and I asked Lysandra, what happened to Kashma? Like, because I've been wondering it the whole time, like, where the hell is she? Like, and Lysandra seems a bit taken aback, and she says she'll take me to see her. So when that happens, I'm like a little bit in shock. I'm like, wait, whoa, what? Like, she's about to take me to go see like Kashmir. Like, I didn't expect anything like that as direct as that. I thought it'd be one of those things like Sage will talk about that later. Or even if she was up front, it would be a conversation. I didn't think like, oh, she's right over here and 3 rooms over. So Lysandra and I traveled through the 16 points. Um, and we passed some double Xers to people who don't like the Royals. And I see this ethereal looking dude, um, like who walks up to me. He's wearing a long tan duster, tan pants. He's got white bandages all over his face. He grabs my head and like he just comes up to me, and just basically grabs my head like that. I did that so hard, and I wake up in the lab. And when I wake up, ethereal guy is still standing there, but if I'm not, or is in the room, but if I'm not mistaken, he's not in the room, or excuse me, he's not ethereal anymore. Also, the room is like maybe some kind of like lab or something like that. Um, I see there's people around that have like red and purple themed uniforms. I break free, and so um, damn, I can't remember what I did to Ethereal Guy. I think he escaped, and I bodied the people who were in there and grabbed one of them for questioning. I learned that I'm in the binary, and the people, they had me strapped down for my, and they're there for my memories. Um, like this is the Council of the Binary, and we are in Deep Space Sector 195. Um, the man who was the ethereal guy is known as the Bringer. So let's fix that because that's wrong. Sorry. And this is Research Station 52. So either I got a lot out of this guy or he was just really good at lying on his feet. Um, so um, I talk, I I'm talking to him, and like he speaks to like the security people over the comm, and I'm trying to basically use him as leverage to get the hell out of here, or at least get myself into a more advantageous position. When they realize that basically what's happened, that I've broken free and I've taken him hostage, I cannot remember what they say. It's something like about eliminating. I got the impression that they were about to destroy that whole room or something like that. So I grab him and I think I pull like as many people as I can with me and just smash through the wall into the next room to get the hell out of that room. And also with them, because I wasn't trying to kill them needlessly. I will, but what's the point? Like, why kill them for no reason? So get out, and when I smash through the wall, I can see Dra-Cool is there in a chair, and he's strapped to a chair, and pause. And I was just in shock because I have not interacted with Dra-Cool in my game in a long time. So other, let me see, random piece of information. Let me see. Maze Rakum. So here's so he is a previous holder of the book. All right, there you go. Notes. Should have believed in myself more. So Maze is a previous holder of the book. He's 6'4", muscular, natural leader. I know him to be strong and capable. Um, like he has access to a location that will be safe and amiable to what we need, or amenable. Yeah, amenable. So flexible to our needs, safe and amenable to what we need. Um, the DM's talking about how I sense power levels through bioelectricity. Um, the people of Korra did things to the people of Wave. Dawn felt like her people, the people of Korra, were lied to. They were basically like lied into the war, and she's constantly trying to make up for her war crimes. Um, let me see. I learned that the damage being done to the planet is really like the through like the mining and stuff like that. This is stuff that came up in previous sessions from the year before, or maybe 2 years before. Um, that the mining operations and stuff and the damage that's being done to the cavern, or excuse me, to the planet, to Polarimus 4, it's really affecting the cavern. Uh, Jing is breaking button and fits out of a detention facility. I mentioned that. Um, Maze believes that I could be fixed if we got to his heaven, because Maze is aware of the problems I've been having in terms of my memory and all that stuff. Um, the Cavern's still on Polarimus 4, and Horizon is doing a lot better. So that's just random notes I took down. I don't know why I separated them. I don't know how that happened. But yes, DM, nothing different with copy code this time. That is from July 9th, 2021. More to come.